This was supposed to be my worst delivery day ever, until the coffee shop girl said, "Want to turn those ingredients into lunch together?" And turned it into the best day of my life. I'm Marcus, 28, delivery driver for a meal kit company. 3 years doing this since dropping out of college. Simple life. Wake up, grab coffee, hit the road, go home to Netflix and video games. Never been the relationship type, too much drama. There was this coffee shop I passed every morning, Brew and Bean on Maple Street, tucked between a dry cleaner and bookstore. Always saw this girl behind the counter, brown hair and a messy bun, oversized sweaters, calm energy. Never went in though. Had my routine, gas station coffee, keep moving. Then one rainy Tuesday in October changed everything. Customer got food poisoning, couldn't deliver this expensive meal kit order. Sitting in my car trying to figure out what to do, parked right in front of Brew and Bean. Rain coming down harder. Thought, why not finally try their coffee? Inside was tiny but cozy. 6 tables, counter stools, hanging plants, warm yellow lighting. Smelled like coffee and cinnamon. There she was, prettier up close but natural pretty. Green eyes, laugh lines. "Terrible day for deliveries, huh?" she said. I laughed. "Yeah, not ideal, but I'll take any excuse to finally try this place. I drive past every day." "Really? I've never seen you come in." "Usually in a hurry, gas station coffee kind of guy." She made a face. "Oh no, we can't have that." She turned to the espresso machine. "I'm going to make you something that'll ruin gas station coffee forever. I'm Sarah, by the way." "Marcus." She handed me a vanilla latte with an extra shot. One sip and she was right. Perfect. Not too sweet, not bitter. Exactly what I needed. "You win," I said. She grinned. "I told you so. What's in the bag?" I'd forgotten the meal kit. Undelivered order. Customer got sick. Herb-crusted salmon with roasted vegetables. Sarah's eyes lit up. "Seems like a waste to throw away. Can't exactly eat salmon in my car." "This might sound crazy, but want to cook it here? I've got a kitchen in back. About to close for lunch anyway." I stared at her. "Are you serious?" "Why not? You've got fancy ingredients, I've got a kitchen, we both need lunch." Should have said no. Had deliveries. Schedule to keep. But something about her casual, genuine offer made it impossible to refuse. "You know what? Why not?" Sarah flipped the close sign and led me to the back room. Small but clean kitchen with 2-burner stove, mini fridge, sink. We laid out ingredients and started cooking together. She moved with easy efficiency, washing and chopping while I handled the salmon. Put on indie folk music, fell into comfortable rhythm. Natural, like we'd done this before. "You're actually pretty good at this," she said. "Don't sound so surprised. Just saying, for a gas station coffee person, you've got skills." We ate at a front table. Rain had slowed, afternoon light soft and golden through windows. Food was incredible, but more than that, sitting there with Sarah, talking and laughing, time had slowed down. "This is really good," I said. "We should start a meal kit cooking service. Brew Bean and gourmet meals? Has a nice ring to it." Realized I'd been there almost 2 hours. Boss probably wondering where I was, but didn't want to be anywhere else. I should probably get going. "Thanks for lunch, and for sharing your fancy ingredients. Thanks for letting me use your kitchen, and for the best coffee I've ever had. You're welcome back anytime, I mean it." Left feeling different. Not dramatically, but like something had shifted. Rain stopped, world looked brighter. Next morning, parked and went inside instead of driving past. Sarah smiled when she saw me. "Marcus, back for more ruined coffee standards?" Made me another latte, chatted before I left for deliveries. Became my routine. Stop at Brew and Bean, get coffee, talk to Sarah, start my day. Learned Sarah had opened the shop after years in corporate marketing. Saved money. Lived in studio apartment 3 years just to afford startup costs. Wanted to create something real that mattered to people. I told her about dropping out, about delivery driving being temporary but somehow becoming my life. "There's nothing wrong with that," she said. "Not everyone needs a 5-year plan. Sometimes it's okay to figure it out as you go." After 2 weeks, Sarah asked me to help cater a book club meeting. Just coffee and pastries, but needed help carrying stuff. Paid me way more than I'd make doing deliveries. "You're good at this," she said afterward. "Customer service. You should consider it." We got dinner at this Mexican place, talked for hours. Conversation flowed easy like we'd known each other for years. "Can I ask you something?" she said. "Why delivery driving? You're smart, good with people, could probably do anything." Usually gave vague answers about flexibility, but with Sarah found myself being honest. "I think I'm scared. Of choosing wrong, of failing. Delivery driving is safe. She nodded like she understood. I felt that way before opening the shop, terrified. But the fear doesn't go away. You just decide it's worth it anyway. Next few weeks fell into new pattern. Coffee every morning, occasional catering gigs. Sarah started asking me to help with other shop things too. When her part-time employee quit, she offered me the job. I know it's not full-time, pay probably isn't as good as delivery driving, but if you're interested, yes, yes. When do I start? Learning to work at Brew and Bean was different from anything I'd done. Sarah taught me the espresso machine, how to foam milk, make drinks, work the register, talk to customers. It was harder than expected, but I liked it. Liked learning people's orders, the morning rush, quiet afternoons, working alongside Sarah. After my first month, Sarah took me out for drinks to celebrate. You're a natural. Honestly worried it might be awkward hiring someone I'd become friends with, but it's worked out perfectly. Friends. The word hit weird. Over 2 months, I developed real feelings for Sarah. The way she laughed at my jokes, remembered details I'd mentioned weeks earlier, made everyone feel welcome. She was beautiful, but more kind, smart, genuine in a way that felt rare. Few more drinks, talked about the shop, my lack of plans. Had to lean close to hear each other in the crowded pub. Sarah's hand brushed mine and didn't pull away immediately. Thought about saying something about how I felt, but the moment passed. She drove me home that night. As I was getting out, Marcus, can I tell you something? Of course. Before the coffee shop, I was married, 6 years, met in college, married right after graduation. He was ambitious corporate guy, always climbing the ladder. I thought that's what I wanted too. She stared out the windshield, but I realized I wasn't happy. We weren't happy. Became like roommates sharing a bank account. No real connection. What happened? I asked for a divorce. He was shocked. Couldn't understand why I'd throw away everything we'd built. But we hadn't built anything real. She looked at me. The coffee shop was my way of starting over. Creating something authentic. I wanted you to know, in case you wondered why I sometimes seem guarded. Went inside with mixed emotions. Glad she'd opened up, but realized my feelings were probably one-sided. She'd just gotten out of marriage, focused on business. Last thing she wanted was romantic complications, but knowing that didn't make feelings go away. Loved watching her with customers, how she hummed while restocking, paint under her fingernails from the chalkboard menu. Loved that she cared about fair trade coffee, local artists, making everyone feel welcome. December brought first snow. Sarah decorated simply. White lights, small tree with customer-made ornaments. Business picked up as people sought warm spaces. One busy Saturday we were slammed. Long lines, temperamental espresso machine, impatient customers. I knocked over cinnamon powder, felt overwhelmed. Some suited customer complained about wait times. Sarah stepped in smoothly. Sorry for the wait. Drinks are on the house, here's a pastry. Such genuine smile, his attitude changed completely. Sorry about earlier, I said after the rush. Are you kidding? You handled that great. When I first opened, I cried in the bathroom after every busy shift for 2 months. That evening, we grabbed dinner at Italian place. Warm, dimly lit, candles on tables. Almost felt like a date, except we talked about work. Do you ever think about doing something else? She asked. Long term. Opening your own place, maybe. I'd been thinking about that. Sometimes, but don't have money, experience, any idea how to start. Nobody does when they start. I just figured it out as I went. You're braver than I am. I'm not brave, Marcus. I'm stubborn. There's a difference. Walk back to get our cars. Snow falling heavier. Streets quiet. At the shop, Sarah turned to me. Thanks for dinner. These past months, it's been nice having someone who cares about this place as much as I do. Thanks for giving me a chance. We stood in falling snow. Sarah looked beautiful. Snowflakes in her hair, cheeks pink. Wanted to kiss her so badly it hurt, but something held me back. See you Monday? Yeah, see you Monday. Next few weeks blurred. Holiday rushes, year-end planning. We worked well together even during busiest shifts. Customers commented on our natural teamwork. New Year's Eve, Sarah threw small party at the shop. Hot chocolate and champagne for regular customers. I helped set up and clean up. After we sat with champagne watching people pass outside. Sarah, can I tell you something? Of course. These past months working here with you, best I've had in years. Not just the job, but you. You've made me feel part of something that matters. You are part of it, Marcus. I mean more than that. I care about you. A lot. More than just friend or coworker. Her expression shifted. Marcus, I know what you said about marriage, needing space, not trying to pressure you, just wanted you to know. Long pause, fireworks outside, distant cheering. I care about you too, more than I probably should. What do you mean? When I hired you, I told myself it was just business. But somewhere along the way, it became more. I look forward to seeing you every morning. When we're working together, it feels like this is how things should be. Heart pounding. So what's the problem? I'm scared. Divorce finalized less than 2 years ago. Still figuring out who I am alone. And you work for me. Makes everything complicated. What if it doesn't work out? What if we ruin everything we've built? I can't lose this. We could figure it out. Could we? This is too important to me. We sat in silence. I should probably go. Marcus, wait. She took my hand. I don't want things weird between us. Can we keep things the way they are for now? Please? Something in her eyes gave me hope. Not rejection, but uncertainty. Yeah, we can do that. Next months were strange. Surface stayed same. Worked together, maintained partnership. But different underneath. Tension that hadn't been there. Sometimes caught her looking when she thought I wasn't paying attention. March, Sarah expanded menu to include food. Asked me to help research suppliers, test recipes. Spent hours after closing experimenting. Try this, handing me butternut squash soup. Incredible. What's in it? Coconut milk and curry powder. Perfect. People will love this. You have great instincts about food, business, people. About people. You hired me, didn't you? She laughed, then got serious. Do you ever think about what you want long term? Used to never think about future. But working here made me realize I want to build something real, something that matters. That's good. What about you? I want to keep growing this place. Maybe second location. And I want to stop being afraid of good things. What do you mean? I've spent so much time protecting myself from getting hurt that I've been protecting myself from being happy too. April brought warmer weather. Sarah set up outdoor tables, business picked up. Working almost full time now, Sarah talking about making me partner. You've earned it. Care about this place as much as I do. Are you serious? Completely. Start small, percentage of profits rather than salary. Excited me more than expected, having ownership stake, being Sarah's partner, but complicated things between us even more. I need to think about it. Weekend visited parents, told them about partnership offer. They focused on potential problems rather than possibilities. Don't want an exit strategy, I said. For the first time, I found something I want to commit to. Monday morning walked in with decision made. I want to do it. The partnership, I'm in. Her face lit up. Really? This place has become home. Can't imagine doing anything else. She hugged me. First time since that snowy night. Felt different now, charged with possibility. We're going to make this work. Worked out details over next week's. 20% stake with possibility of increasing. Celebrated at nicest restaurant in town. To partners. Talked about expansion, catering, maybe franchising. Sarah brilliant when excited about business. Face lighting up, talking with hands, creative solutions. You know what I love about this? She said over dessert. What? Never had real partner before, in business or life. Someone who cares as much, who I trust completely. It feels right. Yeah, it does. Walking to cars, Sarah suddenly stopped. Marcus, I've been thinking about what you said New Year's Eve. Heart beating faster. Yeah? Think I've been overthinking everything, making it more complicated than necessary. What do you mean? Maybe reason this partnership feels right is because we work well together in every way. Maybe I've been afraid of something that could be really good. Are you saying what I think you're saying? Maybe we should give it a try. The real thing. Stepped closer. Are you sure? Don't want you feeling pressured? I'm sure. Been sure for months. Just needed time to admit it. Touched her face gently. Been waiting for you to say that for a really long time. I know. Sorry I made you wait. It was worth it. Finally kissed her under the streetlight. Soft and tentative, then deeper as she kissed back. When we broke apart, she was smiling. That was perfect. Stood there holding each other in warm evening air. Two people who'd found something real. But Sarah pulled back slightly, uncertainty flickering across her face. Marcus, there's something I need to tell you. Something I should have told you months ago. Stomach dropped. What is it? Deep breath. When I said I wasn't ready before, wasn't just about divorce. There was someone else. David. Dated 6 months after divorce. Intense, fast, everything I thought I wanted, but he got possessive, jealous. Didn't like that I was focused on coffee shop. Looked down. Got bad, really bad. Showed up at shop, made scene. Started following me home, had to get restraining order. Sarah, why didn't you tell me? Because I was scared. Scared you'd run if you knew how messed up my life had been. When you told me how you felt New Year's Eve, part of me wanted to say yes immediately. But David had only been out of my life 3 months. Didn't trust myself. Is he still around? No. Moved to Seattle 2 months ago. Job transfer, part of why I felt ready to try this. Finally felt safe again. Free. You should have told me. I would have understood. Protected you. I know. But needed to protect myself first. Needed to be sure what I felt for you wasn't just relief, and now I am sure. What I feel is real, Marcus. It's love. Hit me like punch to chest. Not anger she'd kept this from me, but understanding her caution. Need to take things slow. I'm sorry you went through that. Sorry you felt you had to handle it alone. Wasn't completely alone. My sister knew. But didn't want to bring that energy into coffee shop, our friendship. Felt like it would contaminate everything good. Nothing could contaminate this. What we have is stronger than whatever happened before. She smiled through tears. That's what I realized tonight, standing here feeling this happy for first time in over a year. You're not David. You're not my ex-husband. You're Marcus, and you've never made me feel anything but safe and valued and loved. And you never have to feel unsafe again. I know. That's why I'm ready now, really ready. Thought about that undelivered meal kit that brought us together, the rainy Tuesday that changed everything, how something simple as walking into coffee shop could alter your life completely. Come on, Sarah said, taking my hand. Let's go home. Home. To the life we were building one day at a time, to all the possibilities stretching ahead. Walking back toward cars felt overwhelming gratitude, not just for Sarah, but for chain of small events that led to this moment. The food poisoning, the rain, the decision to take chance on something uncertain. Sometimes best love stories don't start with dramatic gestures or love at first sight. Sometimes they start with stranger asking for help. Sometimes they grow slowly, built on shared meals and comfortable silences and gradual realization you found someone who sees world same way. That night fell asleep next to Sarah, listening to rain outside. Knew whatever came next, we'd figure it out together. Partners in every sense, building something beautiful one ordinary day at a time. The next few months brought changes neither of us had expected. Our relationship deepened naturally. No dramatic declarations, just quiet intimacy of two people learning to trust completely. Sarah moved some things into my apartment, though she kept her place above the bookstore. We talked about finding something together eventually. Business was better than ever. The expanded food menu was a hit, especially Sarah's butternut squash soup and my suggestion for grilled sandwiches. We hired 2 part-time employees, Emma, an art student for mornings, and Carlos, a retired teacher for weekends. Having help meant we could focus on bigger picture without burning out. One evening in June, while closing up, Sarah brought up something on both our minds. I've been thinking about the second location, that space on 4th Street near the university. It's a big step, I said. More overhead, more responsibility. I know, but I think we're ready. We've got systems down, good staff, and I trust you to help manage it. The idea excited and terrified me. 6 months ago, I'd been delivering meal kits with no direction. Now Sarah was talking about expanding our business and trusting me to be part of that growth. What would it look like? Smaller than this place. Focus on grab and go for students. Different vibe, but same quality, same values. She looked around our shop. Don't want to lose what makes this place special, the community feel. We won't. That's not about the building, it's about how we treat people. We spent the next week researching the location, running numbers, talking to landlords. The space was perfect. Big windows, high ceilings, already set up with basic plumbing for commercial kitchen. What do you think? Sarah asked after our 3rd walkthrough. I think we should do it. Really? Really. You were right. We're ready. That night we celebrated with champagne, making plans and dreaming. Sarah pulled out her sketchbook and started drawing layouts while I researched equipment costs. Coffee and books, she said suddenly. What? That's what we should call it. Partner with that independent bookstore downtown. Let people browse while they drink coffee. I love it. Creates different atmosphere but still feels connected. Coffee and books opened in August on a hot Thursday morning. Despite careful planning, first week was chaos. Wrong espresso machine, mixed up delivery schedule, ran out of pastries by noon on day 2. But customers were patient, and by second week, we'd found our rhythm. You know what the best part is? Sarah said one evening as we walked between locations. What? We did this. Together. A year ago, I was running one little coffee shop, barely making ends meet. Now look, we're just getting started. That fall brought unexpected challenges. A chain coffee shop opened 2 blocks away, offering cheaper drinks and faster service. We lost some customers, especially during morning rush. Sarah was stressed in a way I'd never seen. She stayed late every night, obsessing over numbers and competitor analysis. Maybe we expanded too fast, she said, reviewing receipts. Maybe I got overconfident. Hey, I said, taking her hands. This is temporary. People choose cheap and fast when they're not thinking. But when they want something real, they come here. How can you be so sure? Because I was one of those people. I chose gas station coffee for 3 years. But once I tried yours, there was no going back. Sarah laughed for the first time in days. You're comparing our relationship to coffee addiction? We weathered the competition by doubling down on what made us different. Sarah started a loyalty program. We hosted evening events, poetry readings, music nights, book clubs. I suggested coffee education classes on weekends. By November, both locations were stable again. Sarah's stress returned to normal, and she started talking about future plans. I want to start roasting our own beans, she said one morning. That's a big step. Expensive equipment, finding suppliers. I know, but think about it. Complete control over quality, better margins, something that really sets us apart. Christmas season brought our busiest period yet. Both shops decorated simply. White lights, evergreen garlands, local winter art. We hired seasonal help and extended hours for holiday shoppers. One snowy evening in December, after we'd closed both shops and sent the staff home, Sarah and I sat in the original Brew and Bean sharing a bottle of wine and watching people hurry past the windows. Do you ever miss it? She asked. Miss what? The simplicity. When it was just one shop, just the two of us figuring things out day by day. I thought about that rainy Tuesday when I'd first walked in, about those early months when every day brought something new to learn. There had been something magical about that time, the uncertainty, the possibility, the feeling that we were creating something from nothing. Sometimes, I said, but I don't want to go backward. I like building something bigger than ourselves. Even if it's more complicated? Especially because it's more complicated. Easy things don't usually matter very much. Sarah leaned against my shoulder. I love you for that. For always pushing forward, always believing we can do more. I love you for giving me something worth pushing toward. We sat in comfortable silence, watching snow fall past the windows of the coffee shop where we'd found each other. Two people who'd started with nothing but uncertainty and learned to build something solid, something lasting. The new year brought a proposal that surprised us both, not the romantic kind, though Sarah and I had started talking about marriage in the abstract way couples do when they're building a life together. This was a business proposal from a small chain of independent coffee shops in Portland. They want to license our concept, Sarah said, reading the email for the third time. Brew and Bean methodology, training, even the name. They'd pay us percentage of revenue plus consulting fees. I stared at the numbers they'd proposed. More money than either of us had imagined when we started this journey. What do you think? I asked. I think it's flattering and terrifying. What if they change everything that makes us special? What if we lose control of what we've built? What if we don't? What if this is how we help other people create what we have here? We spent weeks going back and forth, consulting lawyers, talking to other business owners who'd licensed their concepts. The opportunity was real, but so were the risks. I keep coming back to why we started this, Sarah said during one of our late-night discussions. It wasn't about money or expansion. It was about creating something authentic, something that mattered to people. Maybe that's exactly why we should do it. Share that with more communities. Or maybe that's why we shouldn't. Keep it pure, keep it ours. In the end, we decided to table the licensing opportunity and focus on what we had. Sarah's roasting project was gaining momentum. She'd found suppliers and started experimenting with small batches. The aroma of freshly roasted beans filled the warehouse space behind coffee and books on weekend mornings when she practiced. Try this, she said one Saturday, handing me a cup of her latest blend. The coffee was extraordinary, complex, smooth, with notes of chocolate and citrus that developed as it cooled. Better than anything we'd been serving, and we'd been serving good coffee. Sarah, this is incredible. You think so? I was worried it might be too subtle. It's perfect. When can we start serving it? Few more weeks of testing. Want to make sure I can replicate it consistently. Spring brought our busiest season yet. The roasting operation was officially launched with a small ceremony, Sarah pulling the first commercial batch while regular customers cheered and took photos. The response was immediate and overwhelming. People who'd never paid attention to coffee suddenly wanted to know about bean origins and roasting profiles. "We need a bigger roaster," Sarah said after selling out of our house blend 3 days in a row. "We need bigger everything," I replied, looking at the line that stretched out the door of coffee and books. Success created new challenges, finding reliable suppliers for larger quantities, training staff to explain roasting differences to curious customers, managing inventory and production schedules. But these were good problems to have. One evening in May, as we cleaned up after an especially busy day, Sarah brought up something that had been on my mind too. "I've been thinking about that licensing offer," she said. "Yeah? Not because I want the money, but because maybe we're being selfish keeping this to ourselves. What if there are other people out there who need what we've built? Other communities that could benefit from having a real gathering place? What are you thinking? Maybe we start small, one location, somewhere we can oversee directly. See how it feels to share what we've learned? Like a test case?" "Exactly. If it works, if we can maintain quality and values, maybe we consider the bigger opportunities." We decided to look for the right partner, someone who understood our mission and had the resources to execute it properly. It took months to find the right fit, but eventually we connected with a couple in a college town 2 hours north. They'd been running a small cafe for years and wanted to expand their concept. After several meetings and a week-long training intensive, we opened our first licensed location in September. Sarah and I spent opening week there, troubleshooting problems and making sure everything met our standards. "It feels different," Sarah said on the drive home. "Different how?" "Good different. Like we're not just building a business anymore. We're building something that can outlast us." "Getting philosophical in your old age?" She laughed. "Maybe, but seriously, seeing Tom and Lisa create their version of what we have, it made me realize this is bigger than just us now." The licensed location succeeded beyond our projections. Within 6 months, Tom and Lisa were considering a second shop in their area. Other inquiries started coming in, people who'd heard about our model and wanted to create similar community spaces in their towns. "I think we might have accidentally started a movement," Sarah said one morning, reviewing applications from potential partners. "Is that what we wanted? I don't know what we wanted when we started, but this feels right, like we're helping create more of what the world needs." By the end of our second year together, we had 4 locations operating under licensing agreements, our own roasting operation, and plans for expansion. But the thing I was proudest of wasn't the business success. It was coming home every night to Sarah, making plans for a future that felt unlimited. "Sarah, will you marry me?" I asked one evening in our new apartment. She stared at the ring, then started crying. "That's a yes, you idiot. Of course it's a yes." That's how the best stories begin and continue. One brave decision at a time, one person finding another, and deciding to build a life together.